San Diego has the fourth largest homeless population in the United States. Only New York, Los Angeles, and Seattle have larger homeless populations than San Diego. Most of the homeless persons in San Diego became homeless here, not elsewhere. They are San Diego taxpayers, voters, and residents, and they need our help. This data is from 2018 and did not include a count of those persons living in their RVs, thus the numbers are artificially low. The new data will be released next month, so we should wait to see the updated report. 14% of the homeless in San Diego are veterans, 26% are female, 9% are families, and 12% are youth. Many in these populations have fled violence or neglect and have nowhere to go. They need our help, not our condemnation. San Diego does not have enough affordable rental homes to fill existing needs. An unregulated Airbnb vacation rental industry also adds to the problem. It serves no purpose to blame the homeless for the problems of city planners. In this photograph, the man is not taking up any more space than the scooter is. It is cruel, counterproductive, unconstitutional, and immoral to arrest him because he has nowhere to go. If a homeless person stops on a sidewalk, the person can be cited for encroachment and his or her belongings confiscated and destroyed. If a homeless person stops on private property, they can be arrested for trespass. A person who has a vehicle and sleeps in it is guilty of vehicle habitation. While in other cities, homeless persons are offered jobs helping to pick up trash, homeless persons in the city of San Diego are even arrested for disturbing the trash. Leilani Farha, Special Rapporteur on Adequate Housing, in her remarks to the United Nations, decried the practices in San Francisco and Oakland criminalizing homeless persons as constituting human rights violations and called for them to be immediately ceased. San Diego will also lose HUD funding if this law is enacted. Almost 1/4 of the urban population lives in homeless encampments. These residents often live without water or sanitation and are in constant fear of eviction. They move further away into canyons and toxic riverbeds to avoid being noticed and incurring police harassment. This is a recipe for disaster. In 2017, 20 persons died and 490 suffered due to the inaction of city officials. Criminalization will only send homeless persons back into the shadows. This leads to diseases of sanitation and their spread. Hasn't the city learned its lesson yet? Many hand-washing stations opened because of the hepatitis A outbreak have since been closed, a fact misleadingly omitted from city staff report. Public restrooms and hand-washing stations are anything but numerous, and access to showers are nearly impossible to homeless persons. For the cost of incarcerating one homeless youth for 1 year, we could rescue 6 homeless youths from the streets. Convicting a homeless person of the crime of being homeless will not deter, prevent, or reduce homelessness. Instead, it makes it that much more difficult for persons to transition out of homelessness. Laws that criminalize an unsheltered person are unconstitutional in that they violate equal protection under the law, are cruel and unusual, and are void-for-vagueness. This law is immoral and violates equal protection of the laws as it permits one group of persons, namely homeowners or renters, to summon the police on their behalf and declare persons who neither rent nor own property criminal, and all for the stated purpose of preventing visual blight. The city cannot make it unlawful to park on city streets unless there are enough safe parking spaces for all who shelter in their vehicles. In Martin v. Boise, the Ninth Circuit panel of judges held that as long as there is no option of sleeping indoors, the government cannot criminalize indigent homeless people for sleeping outdoors on public property on the false premise that they had a choice in the matter. The ruling means that since there is not enough shelter space for the homeless population of the city of San Diego, city officials would be violating the Constitution were they to enforce the ordinance. It is unconscionable that they would seek to criminalize persons who have nowhere to go except outside the city. This is effectively a crime requiring persons to self-exile. This is cruel and unusual. The prior law was challenged and enjoined because it was vague and failed to provide adequate notice to law-abiding persons on how to conform their behavior accordingly. This law is even more vague. The danger of vague laws are twofold. The first is that law-abiding persons will not be able to conform their conduct to avoid being considered guilty even when engaged in otherwise ordinary activities. The second is that vague laws invite arbitrary enforcement. New law: are you using your car illegally if you take a nap during lunch? What if kids are sleeping in their car seats? Under this new law, San Diego residents and tourists who come into the city can be ticketed $280 if found with any of these items in their vehicle. I have these items in red in my vehicle. Which do you have in yours? How are we to know how to conform our conduct to the law if possessing any of these items can be evidence of a crime? Sports fans will certainly be upset to learn that tailgating is now unlawful, and if there is any trash in one's vehicle, they are subject to arrest as a criminal. Watch how this vague law was used as a tool for police harassment.
Morning.
You know that's me.
Yeah. And how many times have we warned you about it?
About warn me about what?
Staying in the back of your vehicle.
I'm not staying right there in my back of my vehicle. I'm taking a food.
Okay. Well, we got complaints of you here again.
No, you
Okay.
didn't.
So
I've been here 2 weeks.
you're going to be cited for vehicle and habitation. Let me see your ID. We'll go to court and argue this.
Come on,
Let me see your ID.
man.
No, because I know you're living out of this. You can be arrested for illegal lodging. Okay? Come on over here. Come on over here, because you're living out of your vehicle. Okay? And all these people here, we're tired of it.
I'm not even been here.
Okay, well, you're here right now.
I come to use the bathroom.
We're arguing in court. You're getting a citation.
Give me a break,
no,
dude.
no break.
There's no way I can pay the tickets anyways.
We'll go to court. I'm going to take pictures of the vehicle. I'm going to go take pictures of your bed inside, and you can tell the court, you can tell the judge you're not staying in there, okay? Bahia calls all the time. They point out your truck. Yo, he's back in the morning. He's back here in the morning.
So what's wrong with being back in the morning?
They don't want you here.
Because all these guys are here, I'm going to get a ticket?
Because you're living in your vehicle.
You
You're not
don't
supposed
know
to do it.
that?
Yes, I do. Prove me. Okay, let's go. Full bed right here. You're living out of this.
I can do anything I want with that. The bed folds up.
Okay. Well, this is what the
And
judge
I'm not
is going to
even
see.
sleeping here.
This is what the judge is going to see, and then you get to explain to the judge that you're not living out of your vehicle.
How are you going to do that?
Because that's where you're living. It doesn't matter if you're in there or not. It's illegal lodging. No, because you're still living out of your vehicle. Because you're telling me you live here,
As
and I'm
long
going
as
to go
I'm
by
not
here.
sleeping in the park, it's
Doesn't
not
matter.
living in the
Yes,
vehicle.
it does. It's on city streets.
I'm not on a city
Yes,
street.
you are. This is a city street.
No, not
Yes.
when I'm sleeping.
Anywhere in San Diego, they're not going to let you live out of your vehicle. I don't know what you don't understand about that. That's not a hard concept. Because you just can't live out of your vehicle.
Because you give me a ticket, you don't know if it's true or not.
I do know it's true.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I just looked at it. You said we stop you every time here. You're living in your vehicle.
You think that everybody who has a shell doesn't have the same setup?
Do I think everyone?
It's a place to
No.
change. It's a place to rest when you're after diving.
Well, if you have a
after
house,
biking.
no. They don't want you here.
So
Okay.
I don't come here.
You will obviously. We had this talk last time.
Bathroom was,
we had this talk
well,
last time with
Officer
Officer
It doesn't matter where I
Worthington.
go. You're going to do the same thing, huh?
Yeah, I will. Now, every time I see you in your truck, I'm going to cite you for inhabiting your vehicle.
In my truck?
Or around your truck, because you're inhabiting your vehicle. So that way we go to court, you prove that you have a house. And then they
So
write
if I'm
the ticket
parked
off.
someplace else in the park, you're going to come and hassle me
Yeah,
anyway.
you can't inhabit your vehicle. Yes, and I know you live out of that. Inhabit a vehicle. Why aren't you getting this? Why don't you understand this?
No, I don't. If you're
Living out of your truck is different than sleeping. Why don't you understand this?
No, I don't. If you're
Living out of your truck is different than sleeping. Do you want me to write things down for you? You can't inhabit your vehicle.
I come here every day to fish,
Stop.
sleep, and bike.
Stop. We're getting complaints about you. I don't know how you expect me to believe anything you're saying when you're lying to me.
This is just like bordering on harassment.
The city is inviting more police harassment with this vague and immoral law. If the moral test of government is how it treats persons who are homeless, then San Diego leadership has failed. It is time to do right by children and the elderly, the sick and the poor and the disabled. Arresting them is not the answer. Freedom to stop, park, rest, and sleep should be rights for all residents, not just those who own or rent property.